Hey, what's up, everyone? Back for this Tuesday slate. We have a full 15-game slate for today. Jam-packed slate. Let's jump right into it. You can drop a like and subscribe down below. I do appreciate that. And you can hit the bell icon to get notified whenever I upload. And you can check out the website, links in the description. So today at pitcher, I was expecting to have a few more good arms on the mound today, with it being a full 15-game slate. That's not really the case. We have Strasburg, Ryu, Snell, top three guys by far, pretty much. Castillo's kind of tapered off his last couple starts, but he's still in the mix as a top stud pitcher. And Paddock, too, even though he doesn't pitch very deep into games, like he hasn't gotten to 95 pitches yet, he's getting pulled like high 80s. Most of the times, it's kind of hard to capitalize on his upside. Even though we don't have a ton of good pitching options today at the top, we have a ton of good hitting spots. So we have great spots like the Red Sox against Sparkman in that bad bullpen, the Nationals against Lopez, who has been really bad the last three starts. He's not been striking anybody out, really. Only has 7 strikeouts his last 3 starts, and early in the season he was really racking up the Ks. So teams seem to figured him out. We had the Rays against Carpenter, especially if Pham and Garcia are back. That's a tremendous stack against Detroit. They also get a big ballpark upgrade due to the Rays. I like the Texas game, both Orioles and Rangers side. I like the Braves against Brault. Brault has been terrible against right-handed pitching. He was good last game against the Reds, but some of their better hitters are lefties. And I feel like he's going to get rocked here against the Braves. So I like that. I like the Brave stack. I also like the Reds a little bit against Cabrera. Just a ton of good hitting spots today. And I also love the Cubs, too. The Cubs with the wind blowing out in Chicago against Hoffman. He's also not good. He's pitched all 4 starts of his have come at home. But his career, he's been really bad against righties, especially. And just gives up a ton of power. So I really do like the Cubs with the wind blowing out. So those are like the teams that I really want to stack for today. So I'm going to go kind of cheap at pitching. Like, I don't mind paying up. If I was going to pay up, I would definitely pay up for Blake Snell or Strasburg. But I feel pretty good about paying down just because we have a couple of good options here. Like, first guy I love is Eduardo Rodriguez at just $8,000. Really good price tag for him. He's been pretty good this season, even though his ERA is high. Like, looking at his game log, you wouldn't expect that his ERA is over 5. That's because he got rocked in a couple starts. I do not expect him to get hit hard in this spot at all. Really good matchup here against KC. If you look at the numbers here on ESPN, against lefties, they are 27th in the league in batting average, just hitting .228 against lefties. Are the Royals, and for slugging, they're also 27th, only slugging .354. So it's just a really good spot for Rodriguez too, and on base percentage, they are 28th. So not good numbers at all. They've been really bad against lefties, and Rodriguez has a lot of upside too. And they also been striking out against lefties too. This is kind of hard. This stat is kind of hard because it doesn't tell you how many lefties they've faced, but they are still in the top third in strikeouts against lefties. So I feel really good about going with Rodriguez here. He's at a pretty good price tag at $8,000. He gets a ballpark upgrade, and best of all, the Red Sox are massive favorites. Really good chance that he picks up his 6th win today, as long as he pitches 7 innings. He has a ton of upside, ton of strikeout upside too, and he goes very deep into games. So I love Rodriguez. And then I like Jared Eichhoff. Eichhoff gets a huge ballpark upgrade going from Citizens Bank Park into Petco. He hasn't been really good the last couple starts, but I expect him to bounce back. He's going to hit hard against the Brewers, and they are pretty lefty-heavy. But here he gets a really righty-heavy Padres team, and splits are big with Eichhoff. He has massive splits this season and for his career. And this Padres team, like I said, is extremely righty-heavy. The only lefties that you really have to worry about is Eric Hosmer. But Eichhoff this season, his splits are massive. .621 slugging percentage given up to lefties, just a .388 slugging to righties, only a .225 average given up to righties too, and career numbers. Same massive difference, .360 slugging to righties, just .221 average. Lefties have been crushing him, and the strikeouts are also a lot better against righties, where he has a 24.9% career strikeout rate. strikeout percentage against righties, and the xFIP is just 3.7, extremely good. I love Eichhoff here at 7,100. Going to be one of my favorite value pitchers on the slate because I don't think that many people are going to play him. But if you look into the numbers, it's a really good spot. Great ballpark and a great matchup for him with all these righties in the lineup. That strikeout too. They strike out a bunch, do the Padres. So just what I wanted, going cheaper at pitching to pay up for bats. I'm going to start it off at first base with my favorite hitter that I've been playing a ton lately, especially only against lefties. I'm sure many of you have probably guessed, but that's going to be Nunez once again, 4,900. Been one of the hottest hitters in baseball the last, since May 20th. Since May 20th, he has clubbed 8 home runs. 8 home runs in the last 2 weeks for him. His batting average is up to 250. He's been striking out very, very little since he's been hot. Very little strikeout numbers for him lately. Amazing numbers against lefties, and gets to face Smiley in Texas with the wind blowing. Well, I think the wind doesn't really matter in Texas. I'm not sure about the wind, but it's supposed to be hot. The ball will fly. It's a better hitting spot than he's used to in Camden Yards. So I love Nunez against a lefty here. He has one of the best numbers this season against lefties, and nobody really plays him because he's pretty expensive at first base. But he's batting 300 against lefties with 7 home runs and just 70 at bats. That gives him a 629 slugging percentage and a 329 ISO and a 155 WRC plus. I love this spot for Nunez here. Every time I've been playing him against lefties, he's been hitting a home run for me. So I'm not gonna change that today when he's facing a very, very bad lefty in Drew Smiley. Next up at second base, I like Javier Baez. First of all, Javier Baez is really cheap today. Well, compared to some of I always expect Baez to be one of the highest priced second basemen or shortstops, but he's down at 4,600. You got a bunch of guys priced above him. I love this spot for him, even though he's been kind of cold lately. He was really good. He had a home run and double yesterday. Hopefully they get some going. It's just a really good spot against Jeff Hoffman. It's going to be a Wrigley win game, so the total for the Cubs isn't out yet, but I would expect it to be at least over 5 runs, maybe close to 6. And Hoffman's been really bad against righties. Baez has a ton of pop, as we all know. This season, Hoffman is surrendering a 750 slugging to righties and a 375 batting average. He's only faced 33 of them, so it's a small sample size. But if you look at his career numbers, they are very bad against righties. They're hitting 313 against him with a 554 slugging percentage. Gives up a ton of power. Home run per 9 is 1.72. Yeah, his xFIP is almost 5 against righties. I feel pretty good about Baez. Even though he's been pretty cold as of late, he's still batting over 300. He still has 14 home runs on the season, and at home, with the wind blowing out, I expect the Cubs to put up some big runs today. So I love Javier Baez at 46. At third base, give me another lefty killer, and that's $4,500 for Suarez. Suarez has insane numbers against lefties. This season is no different. He gets to face a pitcher making a second start that was really bad in AAA. We'll look at him as well. But Suarez this year, another guy that's been really, really good against lefties. He's hitting 286 against lefties this season. Did I even hit the right? I gotta go splits. So this season he's hitting 313 against lefties with 4 home runs in just 48 at-bats. So that gives him a 292 ISO and a 604 slugging percentage. Really, really good numbers. And career-wise, his numbers are really solid as well. So, his phone is pretty slow today. But anyway, we know Suarez is really good against lefties. And the pitcher that he's facing, Cabrera, he was bad in his first start against the Phillies. And in the AAA, he was really bad too. He had a 6.35 ERA in AAA. And the Reds do have some decent hitters, and Suarez is their best hitter, so I love him. Given his numbers against lefties. Next up, in the outfield, I'm going to go with Austin Riley. Riley is $4,900 facing a lefty here in Brault. Just a ton of power for him, an insane amount of power. Only 67 at-bats. He has 8 home runs. He's hitting over 325 on the year. Really, really good numbers against lefties. Another guy, I'm just picking on the splits today. It's a huge slate. You can kind of go one-offs from every team if you like, or just pick players from teams that have high totals, which is kind of where I'm going on this slate, picking the best hitters and the best spots on each of the high total teams. Riley's hitting 389 against lefties this season. He has 5 home runs and just 18 at-bats. That is insane. Like, the ISO, slugging, everything is through the roof. It's just like 833 ISO. It's a really small sample size. But the fact that he has 5 home runs and just 18 at-bats, that is like 4 games he has 5 home runs. I really feel good about Riley here at 4,900. So that does it for the video. Those are the plays that I really like for today. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. You can drop a like if you enjoy, and I will be posting my basketball video later today, so you can keep an eye on that. Thanks for watching, and good luck today.